Attempting to ignite the slumber fever hearts.
And uncovering the tales of narratives left behind.
POV modernization, press freedom, manipulation, aiming to discover all the shadowed secrets that the eyes sometimes cannot see. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready to brace yourself for a moment of transcending revelations.
Only here in the breakout room, where ideas break free.
Kindly stay with us as the discussion is about to start. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Breakout Room, where insightful discussion meets dynamic conversation. I am Donna.
And I'm Mikylla. Joining us is the charismatic Paula. Together, we're here to dive deep into the topics that matter most.
That's right, Paula here, thrilled to be part of this exciting conversation. Today, we've got a power-packed episode lined up, touching on new issues that resonate with every corner of society. So, buckle up and get ready for an engaging ride through these topics. We're not just discussing the issues, we're breaking them down, examining the nuances, and sparking this conversation that leads to meaningful change.
The Breakout Room is not just a talk show. It's a platform for exploration, understanding, and most importantly, action. Let's break the barriers, break the norms, and break into a new level of discourse.
Get ready for an hour of engaging conversation and hopefully some breakthrough moments. This is the Breakout Room, where ideas break free.
Pale white, black, light brown. What is with the color that defines who we are and tells where we stand in these society standards?
We should all be in awe of all the colors that make up our human race, for each of these colors represent uniqueness amidst diversity.
In this generation where advancements of technology and the rapid dissemination of information can't be stopped, the role of the press has never been more crucial. However, despite the vibrant actions of the journalists of the Philippines, many of them are the targets of threats and lawsuits, while women are subjected to specific gender-based threats.
For our first segment, we will tackle about one of the fundamental pillars of democracy, press freedom.
Joining us here today are esteemed guests who will enlighten us with the issue.
Good day, Eliza and Jose. Please do introduce yourselves.
Good day, everyone. I am Eliza and I am a journalist.
How long have you been a journalist, madam?
Since I knew how the Filipino people deserve to know the truth.
Commendable. How about you, sir?
Good afternoon. I am Jose Ryan, and I am a legal expert and press freedom advocate.
A legal expert and an advocate at the same time? Wow! What words do you want to say our audience, sir, that are advocates like you?
Well, the eyes are useless when the mind is blind, so huwag kayong matakot makibaka.
Welcome to our humble show. Thank you for being with us here today.
It's our pleasure to be here. This is such a wonderful platform where we can tackle critical issues like what we journalists are experiencing.
I agree. Talk shows like this represent how important broadcast media is as well.
Thank you for your kind words. Let's start with history, folks. Press attacks exist long ago already. When and how did it become rampant and deadly?
Well, press attack news are not new here in the Philippines. It dates back to the Marcos regime where journalists are subjected to death, lawsuit, kidnapping, and torture. Journalists during the dictator's time are the ones fierce enough to expose and condemn the Marcoses. That's why they were attacked and threatened by the administration. In our generation, despite the government's deliberate attacks and ongoing harassments of critical journalists and media outlets since 2016, the Philippine media is still thriving.
And although the 1987 Constitution protects press freedom, Philippine law does not protect the free practice of journalism. Defamation is still a crime, and journalist Maria Ressa faces decades in prison as a result of legal measures launched by multiple government entities. Her acquittal in a tax evasion case in January 2023 was viewed positively. However, the government utilizes media ownership and taxes rules to harass critical outlets such as the Rappler website.
I think everyone can agree that journalists are built differently here in the Philippines. They are consistently brave threats facing them just to deliver the truth to the.
I do agree with that, partner. Moving on. Why is press freedom so essential in today's society?
Press freedom is the bedrock of democracy. It serves as a platform for a variety of voices to be heard. It is the public's watchdog, activist, and guardian at the national, regional, and local levels, as well as an educator, entertainer, and modern chronicler. Press freedom is a fundamental tenet of every democracy. Journalists, being the people's eyes and ears, must be permitted to report on subjects of public concern without fear of detention or other forms of intervention.
Absolutely. In the absence of an independent press, citizens lack the information they need to make informed decisions and hold their leaders responsible. Press freedom is not just about the right to report information, it's about ensuring the public's right to know.
True. However, the alarming trend of press attacks is becoming a normal thing here in our country. How can we safeguard press freedom in such a context?
Journalists' rights and independence must be protected by legal frameworks. We encourage the government to ensure that journalists can do their jobs without fear of retaliation or to discharge their responsibility as public watchdogs, which includes holding public officials accountable for their decisions and actions. Furthermore, we urge authorities to provide effective protection for journalists in order for them to continue their work in a safe and nonviolent working environment. Press freedom predators and violators must be held accountable, especially if they hold the highest government position.
Ethics are also important. Journalists must adhere to professional standards, but the general public needs media literacy in order to distinguish reliable sources from a sea of information.
Well said. Now, how can our audience contribute to defending press freedom?
Media companies are among the most prominent victims of the attention economy fostered by social media platforms. So, one of the simplest ways to support press freedom in the Philippines is to actively follow, read, and share content from independent media outlets. You can also engage in campaigns organized by organizations such as National Union of Journalists in the Philippines. Be critical of the news and amplify voices that support press freedom.
I recommend that you write to lawmakers, advocate for policies that safeguard journalists, and support organizations that promote free expression. Lies, deception, and propaganda are among the most common issues that journalists face on a daily basis. And you should also learn how to fact check to promote press freedom.
I had a lot of inputs today, partner. As much as I want to know more from our intellectual guests, sadly our time is up.
Thank you to our guests who truly enlightened us with our hows and whys and for being part of this essential dialogue,
This has been the Breakout Room,
where we value journalism as a pillar of democracy.
where we defend press freedom for our society.
Catch us on our next segment where we continue to delve into significant issues shaping our world today.
Stay tuned.
Beauty, art, and glamour. These are handmade intricacies, made with the delicate hands of talented and creative natives to support local businesses and trades.
With these fashionable woven bags, fine accessories, and high quality headpieces, accentuate your look this season.
Oh, G, I love your style. Ready to get it.
Oh, I got it from Cultura Local.
Oh, really? Can you tell me more about it?
Fashion accessory.
Eco-friendly, helps in environmental sustainability. The woven bag has many uses.
The stylish traditional hat protects you from the heat.
Look dazzling and unique with these handmade accessories.
Made from recycled materials.
Popular for food gathering and storage. Accentuate your look this season.
Negros Occidental is home to talented and exceptionally skilled individuals,
Constantly aspiring
relentlessly striving,
and consistently attaining the highest standards to deliver better quality.
to revive the essence of local talents and love for creative art. Stay stylish and stay every time.
Welcome back to our talk show, everyone. We truly have gained so much information and knowledge about the previous topic of today's talk show, the press freedom. On the other hand, with further ado, let us move on to our next topic, and that is very crucial in the economic sector.
A little hint of the next topic we are about to share with you is that our economy could be adversely affected by this economic issue, especially due to local supply shocks in the food sector.
Yes, I know you all know that economic issue we are pertaining to. Today's topic is about inflation happening in the Philippines.
To be more specific, we are going to ask and seek answers to the interviewees on what they know on the inflation in the agricultural sector. This issue has been circulating in the country, and today is the right chance for us to dig deeper regarding this economic issue.
These interviewers are with us today to help us enlighten our minds regarding this topic. One is an agricultural specialist and the other an agricultural economist.
Greetings. I am Aryan, an agricultural specialist.
And I am Juliana, an agricultural economist.
Thank you for introducing yourselves and welcome to the show, Miss and Miss.
Thank you as well. I truly believe that this kind of topic should be tackled in a wide range so that people could get crucial information.
In addition to that, this kind of topic should need to be talked about in order to have awareness on what is happening in our country.
Agriculture is a wide sector that needs to be known by the people. But today we will focus on sugarcane production.
Truly, our country has faced different issues and is experienced by the townspeople. However, in the agricultural industry, there's a sugar crisis. That is why food inflation has increased. The retail price of sugar itself has also increased. What can you say about this information?
It's agricultural inflations. Farmers are one of the affected people to this issue. Indeed, it is hard to be a farmer in the Philippines. Come to think of it, the sugar industry struggles as fertilizer prices more than double. Based on the article they have read, around 85% of sugarcane farmers are agrarian reform beneficiaries and may not be able to handle skyrocketing production costs.
I have also read in an article that sugar producers are losing income due to the rising cost of fertilizers and petroleum. In your own understanding, why does the sugar industry feel the pressure from inflation?
We all know that sugarcane farmers face many challenges throughout the harvest season. The necessary inputs for the farmers include fertilizer, fuel, pesticides, and more, all of which have become more expensive over the years.
You think that it is hard for them to overcome the increase in costs when the price of your commodity stays the same?
Yes, it affected everything. The life of a sugarcane farmer from the field to the kitchen tables has become more expensive and does not seem to be slowing down. From the sugarcane field right there to the sugarcane factory right here, to your tables to sweeten your coffee or whatever else you want to use the sugar for. The process, that whole chain of event is just costing us more money.
Food inflation has increased as a cost of sugar crisis. In May 2022, the overall price of consumer goods rose by 4.9%. Today, surging prices in food staples like sugar, salt, and now onions and eggs have driven inflation to a 14-year high. What are your insights about this?
The Philippines has struggled to meet the demand for these items due to a number of reasons, including years of flawed importation policies, cartels manipulating prices, a constant neglect of farmers and extreme weather. In addition to this, food inflation in the Philippines quickened in May, jumping 4.9%, as overall consumer prices rose the fastest in more than 3 years.
What do you think will happen to our economy due to agricultural inflation?
The high inflation rate will kill the agriculture sectors because of an increase in raw materials, adding it will result in decline in demand. At sorry, what? What? Cut, Adrian.
Okay, cut. Three, go.
The high inflation rate will kill the agriculture sectors because of an increase in raw materials, adding it will result in decline in demand, as it is will affect the purchasing power of consumers due to soaring prices. Indeed, thus, it is known that the Philippines is the most food insecure country in emerging Asia due to its reliance on imported food to feed its expanding population.
That is very unfortunate to hear. However, on the other hand, one of the issues that have been fanning the inflation flame is the ongoing food shortage in the country. Sugar, salt, and onion shortage. How can we prevent inflation from happening?
We need to find ways to be more sustainable. That's the only way we can battle inflation in the short and long term. We have to carve out a path forward that will be better for Filipinos and all the businesses operator in the Philippines.
But what does this mean for right now?
It means reassessing our agriculture and food policies, priorities, taking steps to bolster and improve them. Fortunately, agriculture is one of the government's top priorities, alongside education, infrastructure, health, and social protection. We must give food production the attention it deserves because it's not just a family impacted by the food shortage. Businesses, and by extension jobs, are key.
Country once had a strong agricultural industry, and we have the factors we need to get back to that again if we invest now and continuously invest. This isn't a one-stop solution, but should be approached in terms of long-term sustainability. How we put food in our tables will impact every sector in the country. And if we can get this to a point where we can be more self-sufficient, everyone will benefit.
Is inflation good or bad for agricultural producers and consumers, specifically in the Philippines?
Inflation impacts both producers and consumers. For agriculture, historical data support the hypothesis that commodity prices generally rise during periods of inflation, but so do input prices. Higher commodity prices will lead to increased global demand for farm inputs such as seeds, fertilizer, livestock, farm equipment, and the likes, thus putting upward pressure on input prices, holding all other factors constant.
Also, higher interest rates can also impact land values, exchange rates, and overall family living expenses, all impacting the overall purchasing power of farm resources.
Inflation truly matters in agriculture. Before we completely end this segment, what can you say about the topic that we have tackled just today?
Inflation is not necessarily bad. It is expected in a rapidly growing economy. This is a mere reflection of an uptick in demand due to the rising purchasing power of the consumers, which is a good phenomenon.
A bad inflation is characterized by runaway inflation rate, which significantly fritters away the purchasing power of the ordinary consumers. This means that for the same income, workers will be able to purchase lesser goods and services.
Oh, that is why.
However, inflation particularly hurts low-income people. If the value of their money further drops due to high inflation, expect that they will not be able to meet a decent standard of living for their family. Thus, inflation is anti-poor for most.
Indeed, I am sure that the people who are watching right now gain new knowledge and widen their understanding regarding this economic issue that our country faces today. Through that comprehensive explanation, thank you very much.
Finally, that ends our interview for inflation in the agricultural sector. I hope you learned not just something, but numerous significant lessons concerning issues that need to be solved in our country.
Once again, thank you for listening. To our beloved guests, thank you for considering our invite in order to help our audience to be aware of these kind of issues that are present in our country.
Till our next segment of the Breakout Room Talk Show.
We'll be right back.
Excuse me, miss. I think we need to go back of line. Excuse me, miss. Miss, I'm the one falling line here first. Miss. Yes? Zero problem with me? Yeah, you're cutting in line.
Did I? I have my prestige card. Wouldn't that make me a baby? Anyways, excuse me.
Good day, miss. That will be cash or card.
Put it in my prestige card, please.
Would you like a bag for your items?
Yes.
That would be 5,332 pesos in total, miss.
Put it in my prestige card.
Sure. Okay, let me slide it for you and then you're good to go. And I'm sorry, ma'am, but I think there's a problem with your card. It isn't being declined.
That can't be. It's a prestige card.
And I'm really sorry, ma'am, but it keeps on being declined.
That can't be. It's a prestige card.
Well, I think your card just won't work. So you need to hurry up because everyone here is waiting.
Can you just mind your own business? No! That can't be. Call your manager. Excuse me? I'm not done yet. What happened to people in here? This is the first time that happened to me.
Excuse me? Is there any problem in here?
Yes, there is. A very big problem. Your employee is being rude to your customer. A VIP customer.
Is this true, Miss Rcynize? I'm sorry, ma'am, but her cards keep on getting declined and she keeps on insisting to try it again. She's making a scene and the customers are already waiting. Ma'am, it says in here that your card was expired 2 years ago. Oh. I'm sorry, ma'am. It says in here that your card is expired years ago. That would mean that you would pay in cash. Excuse me, ma'am. Are you going to pay or leave the counter? Because there are still many people waiting in line.
Can you just wait? I'm still looking for cash.
You're taking so much time. It seems like you cannot pay for your items.
It seems like you cannot pay for your items, so can you please excuse me because I'm going to pay for mine.
Since you can't pay, you can now leave the counter, ma'am. Here is your prestige card and have a nice day.
Cash or card, ma'am? Card, please. Here's my prestige card.
Card accepted, ma'am. Thank you very much.
My prestige card worked perfectly fine. Would it make me real a VIP? Excuse me.
Now, we're back again here at our talk show. Thank you for being still with us. Once again, we are here to tackle different issues happening in our society. That's right. For this interview, we will have our theme, Pasada para sa Masa, discussing one of the crucial issues happening today. As part of our daily lives, transportation has been one of our needs in order to make our way of life easier. From students to professionals, we all have been commuters and we've experienced the daily struggle of traveling back and forth in hot weather for us to arrive in our workplaces, schools, and in our home state. As the concerns of traffic and long commutes are still in discuss today, we have another concern arising in our society, and that is the PUV modernization. The program was already present and it started way back mid-2017 and become even more controversial when it started implementation. Luckily, we have our guests for today's interview to share their insights on the issues concerning our transportation. Please let us welcome Sandra and Gian. Welcome to our show!
Thank you, Miss Jonna and Miss Pau.
Before we start our discussion, let us first know our guests.
Hello, everyone. I am Zandra, and I am a student from UNOR Senior High School.
So, good afternoon, everyone. I am Gian Magallones, and I'm a civil rights lawyer.
Thank you for accepting our invitation, our dear guests. It is great that we have guests coming from different occupations or states in life. It is necessary to gain more insights regarding the issue we will tackle today. Yes, that's right. We have here a daily commuter and a civil rights lawyer who will help us broaden our knowledge about labor and PUV modernization. Yes, to start, let us first ask, how is life as a daily commuter?
Well, I won't deny that it is really hard to commute, especially if you live in a capital area where the population is higher. That means traffic and transportation is tougher.
Especially living in a country with tropical weather, right?
Exactly. Also, mentioning the worth of commuting daily back and forth from our house to school, that would mean a financial concern, especially to students like me and families with low income.
So, transportation fare is also one of the factors that you need to consider when commuting, right?
Yes, that's why I prefer traditional jeepneys, especially on school days.
So, as a commuter, I'm sure that you are already aware about the concerns regarding the program of PUV modernization. Can you share with us your viewpoints regarding this matter?
So, as a commuter, This issue for me is very crucial since it also affects us. If PUV modernization proceeds, fare increases are likely, and the cost of modern jeepneys may end up being shouldered by commuters, resulting in a ripple effect that raises transportation costs for goods and ultimately raises the cost of living for us.
That's true. GM, do you also have any notions about this issue?
Well, Paula, I agree with Sandra. As a commuter, I can attest that this program will have an impact on us. And what about traditional jeepney drivers? I feel that transport is the responsibility of the government. If they wish to effect the change, then they should be more inclusive.
I've already seen how traditional jeepney drivers are concerned about this because it means the end of their livelihood as the jeepney phase out follows the implementation of the program.
I am confident that our country is not yet prepared for this transition. Not only that this would only benefit the privileged, but the government did not have enough plans and support, especially to the marginalized sectors who will be affected by this.
I agree. I also believe that the government can actually support this program. But aside from that, if they want to minimize carbon emissions, I know there are other options that are really inclusive and do not burden transportation workers and commuters.
Yes. Furthermore, if our government's primary aim is to provide safe and environmentally friendly transportation, I believe they can provide additional subsidies and finances to transportation workers in improving traditional GPs.
I completely agree with your statements, Sandra and Gian. But Gian, what can you recommend or advise in this matter as a civil rights lawyer?
As I have said earlier, there is no need for modernization if the government can support or provide subsidies and finances in improving traditional GPs. Also, the government can create a mobility strategy that will provide commuters with more travel options while also lowering carbon emissions. If they want our transport to be more efficient and safe, they should first address the source of many people's concerns about this issue. Instead of just conducting a sudden change, the government should first give solid strategies and support for those who will be impacted the most by this program. Because if we go ahead with this while leaving others behind, we will be creating an unjust economic system.
I agree with that. If we wish for change, our economy should also be more inclusive and foster equitable development.
Wow, I am very pleased that we have gained knowledge through your statements that might actually help our audience engage in critical issues happening in our society.
That's right, Paula. We all have responsibilities as citizens of a country in order to contribute to the development of our country. And our beloved guests have fulfilled it through their words, which have broadened our ideas and perspectives on these problems, allowing us to make better judgments and engagements in light of what is going today.
Sandra and Gian, we are grateful for your presence today and delighted to have you as our guest.
As delightful as it may seem, but we have to say goodbye to our lovely guest this afternoon.
And our talk show is coming to an end. We'd like to thank our guests for participating in the interview today, as well as our audience for sticking with us until the end.
I'm Jonna.
And I'm Paula.
And this is
the Breakout Room.
We'll be back to serve you the topics that matter most.
See you again next time.
Oh, hi Juliana. Hi. Are you already done with our position paper and aircraft? Girl, why do you think Juliana doesn't want to go near me? Am I ugly? Do I smell bad? Girl, no offense, but you really need to start using perfume. Why not try this one that I'm using? It really smells good and it's also available in many scents. And it's called Mystical.
Mystical. The perfume that ascends beyond the ordinary. Vanilla, warmth, and sweetness. Unleash the mystic within as you embrace the essence of velvet. Be one with the petals, the flowers that blooms in spring, and the melody of nature's soft serenade. Experience the love and happiness of May with the scent of bliss. Love, success, and harmony. Capture every moment of your lives with our scent. Cherish. Let Mystical be part of your journey in life, a fragrance as unique as you are.
Hey, Adrian. Oh, hey, Juliana. You smell good. I like it. What perfume do you use?
Oh, it's Mystical. It's actually very long-lasting and very affordable.
Mystical, the perfume that ascends beyond the ordinary.
Good afternoon to our viewers from the Breakout Room.
I am Alian Torrecampo.
And I am Eliana Cabiles.
And we are your side hosts in today's program.
I hope that you are all doing great today. For our special segment, we will tell you some random facts about the issues that we tackled in this day's talk show. Partner, did you know that journalists are facing unprecedented levels of fear and danger? According to RSF, there are falling number of countries in which the media is able to work in safety without fear or facing violence. This is true even in supposedly safer regions such as the US, which was classified as problematic for the first time this year.
We can definitely see that press freedom is a controversial topic among many people, especially in the Philippines, where plenty of journalists have been killed for speaking the truth.
Speaking of controversial topics, as you probably know, a lot of jeepney drivers these days are fighting to maintain their jobs. Because by the end of 2023, jeepney drivers have to consolidate into a corporation as the second component of the PUV modernization will start in 2024. As stated on Rappler.com, jeepney drivers and operators have until December 31, 2023 to consolidate into a cooperative or corporation. If they don't, they will be laid off the road and out of a job, according to the public officials who deliberated on the budget of the Department of Transportation.
I'm sure that we are all aware of the issue going around, considering that there are many jeepney drivers protesting about this matter. Imagine how difficult it would be for our dearest jeepney drivers if traditional jeepneys were eliminated. This could affect many factors in their lives, like their way of earning income, basically taking away their right to be on the road.
I definitely agree with you, partner. Particularly in a way that it would significantly impact their daily income. Furthermore, it aligns with the current inflation that we are encountering today. Have you heard the news about the headline stating that the Philippines total inflation rate dropped from 4.9% in October 2023 to 4.1% in November 2023? As stated by the Consumer Price Index and inflation rate, this results in a 6.2% increase in the national average inflation rate from January to November 2023. The rate of inflation in November 2022 was higher at 8%. The heavily weighted food and non-alcoholic beverage category saw a reduced year-over-year increase rate in November 2023 to 5.7% to 7% in October 2023, which was the main cause of the overall inflation downturn. Transport followed with the annual decline of 0.8% after growing by 1% in October 2023, with a reduced rate of inflation of 5.6% in the Restaurant and Accommodation Index, which had the lesser inflation rate in November 2023, 5.6% as compared with 6.3% in the previous month.
I am am somehow satisfied with the reduced inflation rate this November. And not only I am, but we are all hoping that this will continue to reduce as the new year approaches. Indeed, we deal with a variety of issues in our daily lives and in our society as a whole in the modern world. It is crucial to broaden your perspective and understand what you see and hear about today's concern. Once again, I am Eliana Cabiles. I am Adrian Torrecampo, and we will leave you with this saying, use your voice as the weapon of truth.
Life must be lived to the fullness and act deliberately, his, her, or their own selves. In our evolving world, we discover things on the deeper understanding of our own identities, from just a he and she to they and them.
I know I will accept you wherever you may.
One that could help us step towards acceptance is our own family, or sometimes even friends.
Girl, I'm so confused right now.
About what?
I'm not gay, but I'm attracted to a boy, but I'm also in love with a girl.
You're not confused. That's normal. Maybe you're just in denial that you're not straight. Gender enters into all our social relations when people interact their views of themselves, including their identity and their rights and possibilities, come up against the way they are conceived by other people and the way that other behaves towards them.
However, it often appears that gender in its truest sense is absent from our social relations, because the way in which most people perceive gender tends to be more internalized so deeply that it appears normal and natural. Understanding how we live together means being able to question the things we take for granted in our everyday lives. This includes a key part of our identity or our gender identity. In some ways, the reasoning behind this can be expressed easily. Each of us is a person with our own subjectivity and experience of living with others in society. So everyone is personally involved in discussions of gender. It is easy to test this out. Most people have had experiences where someone's appearance does not immediately signal pain or feeling.
Perhaps fewer people then go on to ask themselves what this indicates about gender, or about how they perceive gender stereotypes. In fact, on a daily basis, it is common for people to organize their perceptions according to gendered assumptions that have never been questioned.
Everyone should feel free to be sensitive.
He, she,
They, them,
us.
we should feel free to be strong.
Remember, every action, no matter how small, can create a ripples of changes. I hope that today's event did inspire, educate, and be an eye-opener to everyone. That individuals like us should address such social issues.
There are more social issues out there that need to be addressed. Not only the topics of press freedom, inflation, and PUV modernization.
That's right. Though the issue was faced may seem daunting, remember the power of hope and collective action. We have the strength to build a better tomorrow, one step at a time.
And as a humanista, we have the power to make a difference. Whether it's volunteering, raising awareness, or simply using your voice, find your way to contribute to the cause.
We would like to acknowledge the people who made this event possible. To the interviewees, speakers, committees, and audiences. Thank you all so much.
May the purpose of this event fuel our hearts to defend the oppressed and stand for what is right. Maybe we can solve everything, but together we can spark a glimpse of hope that reaches further than we can imagine. So, let us take the first step, raise our voices, and turn hope into action.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our event. This is your host, Jana.
I am Agnieszka.
I am Paula.
Thank you and have a great day ahead.